tried to set up my desk and studio so I can be ready to record in just a few seconds, making content creation super fast and no setup or teardown. And this is usually the A-roll you see, but I'm going to take my phone and give you a full tour of the desk setup and some updated things from our previous video. So this is the A-roll angle, and if we turn around, this is what I see every time I record. Let me walk you through it. All right, so one of the newest additions are these white HomePods. I got a pair of those, and those are just for playing music and Siri commands, which I can control the entire studio just by talking to Siri. I'll show you that in a second. Here's my A-roll camera, the Sony a7 IV. It's just on a desktop tripod and have a little Anker MagSafe charger so I can charge my iPhone. That's MagSafe right there. Plus there's plugs on the back for charging all my different devices. Here on the left, I actually have my Multiview where my A-roll camera is there. B-roll camera is camera 2, and I'll show you the B-roll camera in a second. I actually have an Apple TV hooked up to my Blackmagic ATEM Mini Pro and my Mac Studio. This way I can switch between my A-roll, B-roll if I'm doing a live stream, and I have all of that right there on the monitor. I got my Mac Studio there, that's my main machine, editing and everything. I have a Stream Deck there, and that basically just does some controls for the ATEM Mini. External hard drive, Apple TV. Here's the ATEM Mini Pro. I can use it for live streaming and recording. But under the desk, and again, I have some cable management, but not a lot. This is actually the Stream Deck pedal, and so I can control, using these foot switches, which camera is switching. There's 3 buttons on this pedal, left, center, and right, and I have each one programmed to a specific camera angle. So if I hit the left button on that Stream Deck pedal, you'll see it'll go to my B-roll camera as live. That way I can show off products or do anything instructional. If I hit the big middle button, that goes to my A-roll camera, and then if I hit the right pedal, it'll actually go to my Mac desktop, so I can share a window over there or do some instructional during a live stream. Those chunks you hear are me pressing the pedal with my foot. Great way to quickly switch on the Blackmagic ATEM Mini Pro without having to reach and change those camera inputs. Now speaking of the B-roll camera, I actually have my B-roll camera up here. It's actually a Sony a6400. I used to have this mounted to the desk. I had an arm that went behind the monitor and it would hang over. The problem was anytime I touched the desk, the camera would shake. And so I wanted to mount it to the wall. And so you see I have this arm. This is from Neewer. I have it bolted to the wall. I'll put a link in the video description to this arm, but it extends pretty far. I got one of these ball head joints right here. This way I can put the camera at any angle I need. And that's that B-roll shot. Again, it's just wide enough where I have enough room to show like an iPad, but you don't see everything else on the desk. For instance, I just hit record on the B-roll camera to show you, and the Sony autofocus is so good. I can hold an object here, I can bring it up close to the camera, and it'll refocus on it, bring it back down and refocus. Great for that top-down B-roll shot. Now I do have the HDMI cable and a constant power. You can get one of these fake batteries that actually plugs into a wall outlet, and I have those cables running along the arm. This part is not very nice cable management, but those 2 cables are running down. The HDMI is going into the Blackmagic ATEM, and constant power is going to a power strip under the desk. And my a7 IV down here is actually also plugged in via USB-C to power, and I have a smart home scene that enables that power strip anytime I'm recording. I can show you underneath the desk the kind of power strip I have. Now it is not cable managed down here, so no judgment, but down here you'll see that power strip. I actually have it mounted underneath the desk, and I have a bunch of smart plugs. You'll see the lights and camera all plugged into these smart plugs, so when I run the scene to start filming a video, all my cameras are charging and I don't have to worry about power anytime I record. Obviously I have sound panels on all the walls. Over here I actually have mounted to the desk. This is my main shotgun microphone that I use whenever I'm recording videos. I actually have this on the kind of arm you would use for a podcast mic, but this makes it really easy to place wherever I need when I'm about to record a video. I can just pull it out, angle it, and it will largely stay where I put it. And then when I'm not using it, I can put it back and get it out of the way of my monitor. So again, shotgun microphone, always set up. I can just move it in place very quickly. Here I have a fill light, which is the Elgato Key Light Air. That's plugged into a smart switch, so it just turns on as soon as I'm ready to record. And then for podcasting, I have this Thronmax Mic Arm with the Earthworks Ethos. We actually have a whole video comparing the Earthworks Ethos microphone to a Shure SM7B for pro podcasting. You can check that out above or the link in the description. Underneath that mic arm, I have this headphone holder right here, real cheap. I'll put a link to that clamp on Amazon. Have my Beyerdynamic DT770 Pro headphones right there to use when I'm going to record. My audio interface is a Sound Devices MixPre 3, and I wanted to mount it under the desk so it didn't take up any room on top of the desk. And And so these are actually laptop mounts that I screwed into the bottom of the wooden desk. This is a Husky desk from Home Depot. And just having it right there makes it super convenient. All the mics are always plugged in. Touch interface is easy to access, and I'm ready to record at the flip of a switch. I also mounted this under desk tray. The mounting actually screws right into the wood underneath the Husky desk. Got this on Amazon, link will be in the video description. These are actually HomeKit or smart home buttons. This is an Aqara button, this is the Wemo stage controller, and every button changes the scene for the recording. So whenever I need to record, I can just press a button and the scene is set. Then I have the Apple TV remote right here if I want to enable that. And as you can see, there's lights behind me that will color the back wall. Some decor, I got those shelves on Amazon. We'll put the link in the video description. My sound panels here are from Gick Acoustic, come in lots of different colors and different designs, so those are kind of fun, just visually interesting. I have a sound blanket here from Audimute that helps cut down on some of the sound coming from the door and from just overall reflections in the room. And then I have a Hue floor lamp. This way, this actually colors the rest of the wall and it provides nice color to my backdrop. Last thing I'll show you, everything in this room is smart. Everything is a scene, so if I'm ready to record or if I'm just doing office work. And even these blackout shades behind me, which help cut any sunlight from the room, makes it a controlled recording environment, those are smart also. So I'm actually gonna tell Siri a command here. I'll mute the Siri part so it doesn't set off your devices. But if I say, I'm done recording.
On it.
All the smart lights actually turn off, my ceiling fan turns on, and the ceiling fan light. There's Siri telling me it's setting the scene. Then my key light just turned off, and my blinds are raising. So when I'm done recording, the office goes back into just normal office work setup. I can look out my window. All the smart lights and colors have now turned off, and I can enable everything just as quickly. I have every color that I might want to film with programmed to a scene in the Home app on my phone. So if I say, video purple,
1 sec.
you see the ceiling fan light now turned off. My motion blinds are now closing, so it cuts down any of the sunlight. I get no sunlight here in the studio. And you'll see my key light turn on in a moment. There it is. And now I'm ready to record, and it's a purple background. Now, if I want to record with a different color behind me, but leave everything up, I can say one of my other scenes like video green. And you'll see everything just changes green. You'll even see that Eve flare has an accent color depending on the scene. I'll try a couple more. Video orange.
1 moment.
There's my orange scene. Let's try video teal.
Setting the scene.
And let's go back to blue. Video blue. And so there's some of the updates to my recording studio here at home. If you'd like to learn more about building a video podcast setup or gear and equipment, subscribe to the Riverside YouTube channel, hit that like button, and leave a comment below if you have questions about any of the gear that I mentioned and showed here on this video, or the setup, smart home, HomeKit. Let me know, leave a comment below, and thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next video.